Hi, I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, the only TV show bringing Louisiana farmers and consumers together every week. My partner Kristen Oaks-White will join us just a little bit later in the show. Only 11 of Louisiana's 64 parishes are not in the highest classification of drought, D4. That's according to the U.S. Drought Monitor released on November 9th. While much of the state has seen some rain over the last week, experts say it's too little too late. A dust cloud trailing a combine during harvest became a normal sight around Louisiana this year. That's because so little rain fell across the state between July 1st and the middle of November. A look at the U.S. Drought Monitor shows more than 3/4 of the state of Louisiana in the highest level of drought.
You know, if you were a 100,000 bushel soybean farmer, you were fortunate to cut 50 or 30,000 bushels this year.
Greg Fox is a grain marketing specialist for the Louisiana Farm Bureau Marketing Association. He saw the effects of heat and dry weather when helping farmers sell their grain.
Yeah, it really depended on the area and just how much rain that they did get at certain times, because we did see customers that ran through fields and the yield monitors went from 0 to 15, 0 to 30. You know, some guy said, I cut a field across the highway, it cut 2 bushels. I crossed the highway, it cut 20 bushels. So it was just very strange the way things went.
There's no question that across the state, this has been an impactful drought. In fact, as we work our way into early November now, we're looking at about 3/4 of the state posted under exceptional drought, the worst of the drought categories. That is unique in and of itself. Plus, the timing of the drought was incredible. Now, we could argue, was 2011, 2012 dry or drier, or the 1999 to 2001 drought? That was pretty intense and much longer than this one has been. But in terms of this drought here, a couple of things coming into play. It hit its worst right at the middle and end of the summer. And it was a double whammy. Not only did we shut down the rain, but we took away the clouds too, which meant more sunshine, which meant that even the vegetation that did survive was doubly baked.
A lot of folks felt like it was the heat more so than the lack of rain, but altogether, yeah, we saw some guys were estimating they probably lost half or just under half of what they would have typically produced.
Fortunately, as WAFB Chief Meteorologist Jay Grimes knows well, the weather changes and brought some relief to these parched lands.
So we finally got some rain around the state last week. And what we're going to see in the coming weeks and months is probably something that rolls back to normal and maybe even above normal as we get into the winter months. El Niños, especially this kind of a strong El Niño, typically leads to a wetter than normal winter and spring for us here in South Louisiana. Now, that's too late for agriculture. The rains are coming now. In fact, in some ways, the rains are coming just at a time they want to get into the field and pull out what they can. So now they're going to be pulling mud out with the tractors, and that'll just irritate some of the people in the neighborhoods that don't like to see that mud on the roadways. But it's too late for the agricultural production. Now the question is, will it recover in terms of soil moisture? I don't think there's any question that by the springtime, we will be where we need to be in terms of adequate soil moisture storage. In fact, we may be over the top. And El Niño in the winter and spring leads to flooding issues. So we're likely to see excessive rains as we get into January, February, and March, which just takes us into another direction of uh-oh.
The Louisiana Farm Bureau Commodity and Public Policy Department is working on disaster aid for Louisiana farmers and ranchers, even signing on to a letter to encourage Congress to take action now. This week, Congress did do some action. They passed an extension on a very important piece of legislation that has everything to do with the food we are blessed with this Thanksgiving, the Farm Bill. Title I of the bill includes provisions for safety net programs that help ensure American farmers can provide all of us with a safe, stable, and affordable food supply, even during difficult times. The 2018 Farm Bill expired September 30th, but the spending bill passed allows a one-year extension of that Farm Bill. American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall released a statement following the extension's finalization, expressing urgency for Congress to stay focused on passing a new, modernized Farm Bill in a timely manner. He says, quote, The current Farm Bill was written before the pandemic, before inflation spiked, and before global unrest sent shockwaves through the food system. We need programs to reflect today's realities. He continued to praise agriculture committees in both chambers for their great work on a new farm bill over the past 18 months and encouraged them to keep that momentum going. To learn more about Farm Bureau's priorities for this new farm bill, you can head over to our website at twilatv.org. Well, you've either started shopping for Thanksgiving or you're on your way there soon. I'm one of those people who's on the way soon. We've got some good news for you. The cost of food is a little cheaper this year. According to the American Farm Bureau Federation, they checked that out in their Marketbasket Survey. TWILA's Neil Melancon has the results of that latest Marketbasket Survey, and those results might surprise you.
Even a week out from Thanksgiving, shoppers are busy looking for deals for the big meal. Here at Calandro's Grocery in Baton Rouge, the shelves are stocked ahead of the holiday. Local Louisiana products abound at Calandro's, one of the advantages of shopping at local grocery stores. It's the busiest time of year, according to manager Blaise Calandro.
I mean, it's a big time of the year to sell groceries, as you would imagine. A lot of turkey, a lot of stuffing, a lot of vegetables that you would be putting in green bean casseroles and those kinds of things. We do crank up essentially our created craft cheese logs that are used in a bunch of River Roads recipes.
Since 2019, prices have been at record levels for food. A continuing problem is inflation, which Calandro says hits grocery stores as well as consumers.
It's something that our department managers, who are usually doing pricing adjustments and continuing to monitor their gross profitability and stuff, they have to stay well on top of, because even though I call it gradual, sometimes things can happen and it'll hit us pretty hard on cost increases in order for us to maintain margin and stuff.
Each year, the American Farm Bureau does a survey of the most common items in a typical Thanksgiving meal. The good news this year is that the price of those items is down almost 5% from a year ago. Of course, last year, the survey hit a record high in price, and we're not back down to 2019 levels yet. First up, let's talk turkey. A 16-pound turkey is down 5.6% to $27.35. Stuffing is down almost 3% to $3.77. A box of 2 pie crust is down almost 5% at $3.50, and a half pint of whipping cream is down big time to $1.73. Now, some items did move up this year. While frozen peas are down 1% to $1.88, dinner rolls are up almost 3% to $3.84. Miscellaneous ingredients such as spices are down about 4.5% to $3.95, but pumpkin pie mix is up 3.7% to $4.44. This year, a gallon of whole milk is down 2.5% to $3.74, but a 3-pound bag of sweet potatoes is up to $3.97. Veggie trays are up as well to 90 cents for a pound, but cranberries are down big time to $2.10 for 12 ounces. Now, that's just the average prices the survey found, and different regions have different prices. For instance, here in the South, the cost was more than $2 cheaper than the national average. As an important reminder, the cost of the Thanksgiving meal doesn't reflect what farmers receive. The average price at the farm gate is less than a fifth of what you pay at the grocery store. One of the big takeaways from the survey is that even though food prices have increased, the margins at grocery stores like Calandro's and even for farmers themselves have not. And that's why it's so important to shop at Louisiana stores that stock Louisiana products so that you can make sure you're getting the best food for your family at the right price. Reporting from Baton Rouge, I'm Neil Melancon.
You can look into all the details of the survey results online. We'll link you over on our website at twilatv.org. Sometimes it can be hard to be thankful when you do not have food on your table. Nearly 13% of American households were food insecure in 2022. That's according to the USDA. But thankfully, there is hope. As TWILA's Cesilee Oliver shows us, the Food Bank of Central Louisiana is working to lower that number.
Here at the Food Bank in Central Louisiana, they are working to stop food hunger through 2 programs, the Strengthening Children and the Good Food Program. Executive Director Jane Wright-Velez tells us a little bit more about these programs.
Our backpack program got started when we saw an article about a food bank in Missouri who had started this program trying to help teachers who were purchasing food out of their own pockets to feed children at school who were not getting enough food at home.
Oberlin Elementary is one of more than 32 schools that take part within the 2 programs. Grant coordinator and special education teacher Cesilee Oliver helps to ensure that no child goes hungry.
We're able to help children with food insecurity have a backpack to take home on Friday afternoon, and that has meals that could feed them for a whole weekend, where if they need access to food, they are able to have it from Friday, and then on Monday they return the backpack empty and they're refilled again for the following Friday. The Strengthening Children program, I think, strengthens children through work ethic. It also teaches them about where their food comes from.
For some students, school is the only place that they get to have a warm meal. These programs not only help stop food insecurity, but also teach students the importance of where their food comes from. Chris Hall, guidance counselor, gives insight on the programs within his school.
First thing they ask Miss Jody, we're gonna work on the garden today? I wanna go out there and work on the garden. Some days she bring them out here, those days that they ask, but some days they have to do schoolwork. But they want to come out here and work. They want to make things grow and be proud to their peers and their classmates of what they did.
Hall says he has seen a difference in the students' excitement to learn and attendance since starting the Good Food Project. Students who take part in the program say they have learned that their food does not just appear on the grocery store shelves, and that they enjoy learning something different. I am Cesilee Oliver for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Here's where you come in, because the Food Bank of Central Louisiana is not the only organization trying to end food insecurity. But food banks cannot do it without you. If you would like to help, visit feedingamerica.org. If you don't remember that, just visit our website, twilatv.org, and we'll link you over to it. Still to come on TWILA, jambalaya, crawfish pie, and a group of cooking do-gooders. Stay with us.
Welcome to Feasting on Agriculture. I'm Kristen Oaks-White, and today we're in Baton Rouge, Louisiana at the Louisiana Farm Bureau State Office, where the Farm Bureau cooking team is whipping up a jambalaya for a good cause.
Feasting on Agriculture is brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board, think rice.
We're here at Louisiana Farm Bureau with Mr. Bobby Lofton, who's head of our cooking team. And Mr. Bobby, you've been doing this for a very long time, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we're cooking jambalaya today. And is this, I think this is your signature dish, right?
It's yeah, one of them, yeah.
So is this an old family recipe?
I just learned from different people, especially the Gonzalez folks down there. They big time in jambalayas, and it's a big bragging thing to do it, you know. And we learn from a little bit from each person, you know.
And I know I've been eating this meal for a long time because you cook at many Farm Bureau events. And
yes,
this one is pretty dadgum good. So you said you've got a few secrets to success. What makes this jambalaya so good?
I'm trying to think. It's just it's a natural thing. It comes automatic, like it'd be just something natural. I can't tell you exactly what secret it is. It's not a trade secret, let's put it that way.
You've been browning these onions for quite some time.
Yeah, that's a lot of it. That's a lot of it.
And
there.
you said when the onions get kind of caramelized,
right,
that's what makes...
Oh yeah, that's your taste, a lot of your taste and your colors. You know, us folks like that right color on that jambalaya, you know.
That's
we
right.
don't want a white jambalaya for sure.
And so today we've got a big helping of Louisiana rice.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a huge pot that you said you brought specifically to do these Farm Bureau events.
Yeah, I had got it. My grandma, it's in the heritage from my grandma, and I decided to remember her by buying a big jambalaya pot.
How much rice are we talking about?
35 pounds. 35 pounds.
Okay, and so this is going to feed about how many people?
Well, it's supposed to feed 150 people. Well, but you know, it's according to how many they sold today, or for Pat, you know, and all that. If they didn't sell a whole lot, we're gonna give them all they can eat.
We've been,
you know.
So at today's event, we're doing Pat's Coats for Kids.
Right.
We've been doing this for a long time at Farm Bureau.
A long time.
Can you tell me a little bit about the event? Who does it benefit?
I think Pat's been doing that for years, where he worked, and it helps all the unprivileged kids for coats when they need them.
Okay.
Right now, we don't think we need a coat right now.
But this time last week, you sure did.
Yeah, but it helps the underprivileged kids to have a supply coach for them.
Okay.
It's a
great
charity,
event.
good charity thing, real good charity thing. You get rewarded later.
Come back
always.
We mentioned you've been cooking for quite some time with Farm Bureau. You said about 20 years ago y'all started?
back in the middle 90s.
And so why did y'all start cooking for the staff here and for different events?
Well, our last CEO, Win Jacobs, said we had to work on New Year's Eve that time, and he said let's do something special for the people at Farm Bureau. So he said let's start cooking and doing something. That's what got us started.
Okay.
We cooked hamburgers the first year and hot dogs, but after that we got into the jambalayas and the gumbos.
And so you've been doing this. You've been retired for about 10 years.
I'll be retired January 10 years.
And you're still coming back to do this.
I love it. I love it. I love coming back. Farm Bureau, 40 and a half years I worked for.
And so you're still, that's how much you love the company, is you're still coming back.
It's a very good company.
And so how long, once we put the rice in, and then you add?
You add your water first.
Add your water
first. Get your water back coming up, then you put your rice in it and you get it back boiling. I'm telling my trade secrets now.
Well,
anyway.
We're trying to share this magic recipe.
You get your water boiling back, put your rice in it, and you keep stirring it till you start seeing the rice swell, then you shut the fire down and put the lid on it and let it steam. Just like old-timey steam rice.
Okay. When we come back, the lid from that jambalaya is coming off, and Louisiana Farm Bureau members are going to get a taste of Louisiana rice and Louisiana beef. Stay with us. Now we're back for the second part of our meal, which is grilling some beef sausage.
Yep.
Donated by Mr. Robert Duncan. And we're here with Matt Sergo, who is another member of our Farm Bureau cooking team. And Matt, you've been doing this for quite a while too.
Yep, about 5 years now.
Okay, so for now we'll start with putting the beef on the grill.
Okay.
And so we've just got a griddle.
Yep. We got a griddle heated up here. What we'll do is go ahead and get some butter on top. Get that kind of greased up, and we'll start putting our sausage on. While that's melting,
okay, just throw it on, right?
Just throw it right on. You're not going to hurt it. This is already pre-cooked sausage, so we're just kind of warming it through and getting some good color on it.
Okay.
And then we'll let it rest for a little bit before we cut it. Let all those juices redistribute.
So normally on Feasting on Agriculture, we'll bring you to a farm and then we'll cook a dish. But today we're bringing the farmer to the city because Robert Duncan here is here with R&R Duncan Cattle. You donated the beef sausage that we're using in today's plates for Pat's Coats for Kids.
That's right.
Why was it important to you to donate?
Anytime that we have the ability to give back to the community, you know, especially, you know, something that Farm Bureau is helping with. Farm Bureau's helped us so much over the years, and we're so involved with them that when we have the opportunity, we like to give back when we can.
And so you're actually very involved in Farm Bureau. You're the chair of the Young Farmers and Ranchers Committee, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And so when we talked about the beef sausage, tell me a little bit about how it's different.
So the biggest thing is you know, just the beef sausage itself. It's a little drier normally. When done right, it's hard to tell the difference just other than a flavor. Most of the beef, or most of the sausage you buy at the grocery stores is either going to be 100% pork or a blend. And so, you know, a lot of people want to eat healthier, a little leaner, so they like the beef sausage for that aspect. And then it's just a different taste.
Grills are always going to have hot spots. Your burners are going to be running right here. So you kind of want to keep an eye on where, so see, that's burned a little bit different than, say, this one right here. So what we might do is we might just start flipping some of these.
Matt, this looks delicious. Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Thank you for giving back to Farm Bureau and to events like Pat's Coats for Kids. So we're going to get a taste of this a little bit later on. Stay with us.
Thank you.
Happy to be with Dwayne Hardy and the great folks at Louisiana Farm Bureau.
First off, we want to thank you for all the years that you have championed the kids in our community. Pat's Coats for Kids is obviously a very worthy cause, and This is just our part of the Farm Bureau employees that help and support that cause. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you. So it's a tradition, just like Passcodes for Kids is a tradition. So is Louisiana Farm Bureau and their jambalaya lunch to help us out. So it's thanks to them and thanks to you as well for supporting us.
Now I'd like to say a special thank you to Louisiana Farm Bureau's cooking team for welcoming us today and for always showing up for a good cause. They do so much in our community. If you want to learn more about Louisiana rice or Louisiana beef, we put links on our website at twilatv.org. Thanks for joining us for Feasting on Agriculture. We'll see you next time.
Feasting on Agriculture was brought to you by the Louisiana Crawfish Promotion and Research Board, Louisiana Crawfish, ask before you eat, and by the Louisiana Beef Industry Council, Beef, it's what's for dinner, and by the Louisiana Rice Promotion Board. Think rice.
We're going to spend a lot of time at the end of this special edition of TWILA giving thanks to those who work tirelessly for our Thanksgiving feast. Farmers and ranchers comprise less than 2% of the growing U.S. population. However, they still manage to provide us with an abundant, safe, and affordable food supply. In today's TWILA Boost, we celebrate them.
As dawn breaks over America, while most of us are still wrapped in the comfort of our dreams, unsung heroes are already awake. They trade sleep for the stillness of the early hours, their boots crunching on dew-kissed earth, their hands, calloused and strong, tend to the lifeblood of our nation, the grain, the livestock, the soil. They brave treacherous elements, their labor a testament to unwavering resolve and love for the land. Their battles aren't just against the elements. They grapple with unseen adversaries, mental stressors that lurk in the shadows of uncertainty, weather, markets, the fickleness of life itself. Yet they rise, time and time again. They shoulder a work week that would leave many of us weary by Tuesday, their spirits unbowed. As night blankets America, remember those who nourish us, who uphold our nation's heartland. To all farmers, we say this: your dedication is our daily bread, your resilience our beacon. We are in awe of your tenacity. We are beneficiaries of your toil. The fruits of your labor fill our plates, and for that, we are forever enriched.
Well, if that doesn't make you thankful for farmers, nothing we do will. Well, that does it for this edition of TWILA. You'll see this show again Thanksgiving week as we spend the holiday with our families. I hope that you do the same. When you sit down to return thanks, be sure to include the farmers and ranchers who made it possible for you to enjoy that feast. It takes at least a year of hard work, long hours, and time away from loved ones to make that meal possible. That's something that we should never take for granted. Until our next show, you can watch all of our stories online at twilatv.org. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also find all of these stories on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you know when we put out new content. For all of us here at TWILA, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again right here next week.